Morning everyone, this is Kiwis, day 33, and this is the view from Uncle Johnny's deck. I'm cooking up my my last prime rib steak for breakfast, and will be followed by a Rice Krispie cake, so all my major food groups are represented. And the river's flowing a little bit more today after the rain last night. You know, it wasn't as bad as I said it was going to be. It's pretty cold this morning. I think it's about 36. But you know, I'm thankful that there's blue sky, and it's mostly just sort of scattered clouds for the rest of the week. And yeah, knee feels a lot better, and I'm just looking forward to getting on the trail and start knocking out. I think I'm doing about 16 miles today. And yeah, I'll get back to you and let you know how the trail's going. Yeah, one more thing. There we go. Keep forgetting to mention that when I was at Laughing Heart, they said it's at the hostel. It's cash there now. In the book said they took credit cards, which is why I went there in the first place. But yeah, Jeff, the manager there, said they're just taking cash now, so that's just an FYI for everyone out there and those coming through. Yeah, I've been meaning to mention that, I kept forgetting, so I'm doing it now while it's in my brain. Bye for now. Oh yeah. It's just you and me, baby. Just you and me. Alright, we're setting off. It's official. It's 8:15 in the morning. It's about 40 degrees. Day 33. Here's the bridge going into town. Should be a nice day. The temperatures are definitely being colder this week coming up. I don't think there's going to be anything over the mid-50s during the day, so we shall see. And I will get back to you as soon as we get on the trail. So after following kind of next to the river for about 100 meters, you come up here and you have to cross the railroad tracks, and then continue to the White Blaze right over the other side. And there's a sign saying, well, basically don't play silly buggers with the train. You just wait until it passes, because some of these trains are really long, and I guess some people don't want to wait, so they'll try and race it. But no, I had a really good sleep last night. Had no trains coming through, which is awesome. And yeah, no, I had a really nice stay at Uncle Johnny's. Got a very nice group of people working there. Some real characters. Gary, Jed, and John, as well as Uncle Johnny himself, of course. But yeah, nice place. I took some still photos of the store. They got a very nice resupply in there. Are we continuing this way? So we're about half an hour in, and this is pretty much what the track's been like once you cross the railroad tracks. It's fairly rocky. I've already tripped it 3 times this morning. But it's fairly level, and it should be, you know, fairly moderately level for a few miles, and then we start climbing. So, but no, it's nice. It's nice through here. It's nice to hear the river through there. There are some homes right by it, and I was thinking, oh man, you know, because you can see they got their kayaks or, you know, rafts down there. You know how nice it would be to just go out your back door and put your watercraft in the river. And then it takes me about a second to realize that the railroad track goes right through their backyard. I mean, it's like 40 feet, if that, from their bedroom window. I was like, oh my god, I couldn't do that. I couldn't live that close to a train, especially when that has to blast its horn when it announces itself coming into town. But yeah, it would be a little nicer here because they're on the railroad's on the other side of the river. But there's some cute homes through there, and yeah, it'd be nice. It'd be nice to have a place on a really usable river, and a fun one, you know, safe for family as well. But yep, this is the track. It's not too bad at all. Just got to watch your feet. That's the way I've been coming this morning. It will be continuing on that way, but this is the first access down to this really nice flowing stream here. And I'm just going to show you, just in case there's the odd person that isn't actually stopping in Erwin and they're just plowing through. This is a water source about what are we at now, about 40 minutes, give or take, from crossing the bridge. And that's pretty. That's really pretty. The water there is about, I would say, at least a foot deep. And it just continues, splits and continues down the hill, meeting up with the river. But yeah, fabulous water source here, if you weren't staying in Erwin. And this is just a few meters up from where I just filmed. That water down there, that's about 1.5 feet as well. No, really nice. And it's easy to access just from the side bank there. And honestly, you could quite easily put tents there. That'd be a nice spot. Trees are healthy. There's not too much laying around. No, very nice. Yeah, and actually just around the corner from those from the bridge, I couldn't see it through the rhododendrons, but there is a stealth campsite here. And there's a fire ring over there. This is all nice and flat. You could easily fit about 5 tents here. Yeah, this is very pretty in here. I love being out of the wind, surrounded by green, and the sound of a nice stream running by. It's very pleasant. And here's another stealth site right next to this stream here. Burning there for about 4 or 5 tents, I would say, easy. And there is a fire ring there. Yeah, really nice. God, it's nice to be around so much water again. So we've been climbing up from the stream for about 15-20 minutes, and you know, this is what the trail's like. It's very rocky. Just takes a bit of time. You gotta watch where you're putting your feet. Everything's loose. So, but hardly any steps. There's still a moderate gradient. Rise, and we've leveled out, and we're at our first shelter. This is taken, let's see, a little over 2 hours to get here. And that's just, stopping for filming and everything else. So I forget the name of this one. I'll have a look in the book. That's nice. Nice seating area around it. Double layered. It's got more headroom so you can actually stand up in the middle, in the apex, which is nice, because some of these ones have a double level, man. I mean, it's like 4 feet. Call me old, but I don't really want to be scrambling around on my knees up on a second level if that was the only option. It's much better to do a pitched roof. People have left cord here for like a clothesline, which is always nice. Like I say, man, if you got wet gear, like jackets, ponchos, that type of thing, man, hang it up as soon as you get to the shelter and let that stuff get a breeze through it. So yeah, I mean, there's some area there. It's very very rooty, and there's some trails going off in multiple directions. I'll have a look at the book and see what the name of this place is, because I've completely forgotten. Yeah, the shelter's Curly Maple, and it's I think it's a little over 4 miles coming up from Erwin. So yeah, it's in a very protected spot. It's like not a breath of wind, and there is a little stream running right past it. In the book it says it's not a dependable stream. But with the rain that we've had, there's moving water in that, and it continues up a little ways. But yeah, this is kind of a cute shelter. I like this, and it's pretty clean. It is pretty clean. I'll give it that. So this is about 5 minutes coming up from the shelter and Curly Maple, and so yeah, you can put your tents in there. I mean, I wouldn't want to do it when it's raining. You're creating a pool for yourself, but yeah, there's flat area around there, and then through there is looks like some flat area for some stealth camping in there, and looks like there's a fire ring. I'm not going in because I need to kind of stay focused today. Got like 16 miles, so yeah. So there's camping up the hill from the shelter. It's about half an hour north of Curly Maple. It's got like a sandy bottom to it, and nice and fast moving. Yeah, very nice water source this. Well, we're just a little over 3 hours in. We just come up a series of switchbacks over some incredibly rock-strewn and heavily tree-rooted track, and you come up here, you're out on a ridge, and there's some stealth camping here. Room for a couple of tents there. Trail goes off in that direction, but there's room back in there for some tents, and you can put one here as well. There's also some sort of trail going off down here. I don't know if there's a water source down there, but that's a pretty well worked trail down there. Yeah, not a bad spot. Be a little nicer in the summertime with tree cover and out of this wind. Temperature is, yeah, it's 30. So the temperature's been dropping as I've been coming up. Put my gloves back on, and yeah, you start to feel it. It's nice to be out in the sun because you're in the shade for basically the whole morning. But we will continue on. So we're let's see, we came up this way, and little ridge line here, and there's a little stealth camp. It's not a big one. You could, You can maybe put 2 tents here, but plenty of room for hammocks. And yeah, it's about yeah, a little under 4 hours since I started out this morning, so it's a little windy up here. It's a little exposed at this time of year. That wind's cold, man. But you know, the trek hasn't been bad. It's just it's a little slow because of the previous sections that were heavily tree rooted out, especially there we go again, trying to kill me. Yeah, the trees rooted, so I haven't walked on a section of track that heavily rooted out in a long time. And it's a lot of it was partially angled to the slope as well, which, you know, always makes you doubly cautious about where you put your feet. So yeah, but we're getting some protected area here. Looks nice. Well, the trail is just through those trees. We're about, I don't know, 50 feet up from the trail, and there's an access road here with a road beyond. I just saw a pickup truck drive off to the right. So now this could be a really nice place to camp, but it's a little too accessible, and it looks like a popular place for yahoos to come up here and drink, as you can see. Latex gloves, I don't know, man, that always says to me drug use, but you know, whatever. But yeah, if it wasn't for all the local idiots leaving beer cans up here, this would be a really nice place. And it's out of the wind, because once you get back down to the trail, it's pretty exposed there. There's a lot of wind there. I just don't understand people littering. I really don't. You know, it's an empty can. It's an empty bottle. Just take it out with you. But yeah, I mean, you could risk it. I don't think I'd want to be up here on a weekend or a Friday. And have some local yahoos come up here looking for a good time, and yeah, altercations starting fairly quickly. But yeah, we're heading off down the trail here. Yeah, we're barely 10 minutes from that other site, by that approach road. And here's another one here. Some nice areas here to put tents and hammocks. And all the way through here, it's nice soft leaf cover on the ground. There's plenty of flat space here to put tents in between the trees. And yeah, there's no beer cans here, so this would be the place I'd choose. I always get nervous when I see a lot of beer cans. I don't want to be around people like that. You got to be a certain piece of trash to leave that amount of garbage out in the woods. You know, that's just Kiwi calling it. You know, never understood it. I've never done it. You just got to be it's a pretty crappy individual, I think, to litter the forest like that. And there's more area down here, and it looks like there's another fire pit. Yeah, there is. Yeah, this is nicer. Yeah, I'd much rather be down here than up by an easy road for idiots. Alright, it's coming down the hill, and that must be the approach road that I saw that pickup truck. You go down these stairs, hang a left, and the blazes are on the other side of the road there. Yeah, I just saw a sign. This is Indian Graves Gap that you're coming out onto here. This would have been an awesome place for trail magic. Just saying. Maybe somebody with some with a grill, maybe some grilled hot dogs. Temperature is still, it's 32 degrees here in the sun, but we'll continue on. This gives you some idea of what I've been walking on all day. The only difference is this is dry. The other stuff was in the dark side of the hill. It was still wet and slick. But yeah, it's just continuing up. All the way. Fun. So that's heading south. We've just come up and we're at these high power lines. And there's a little stealth spot here. If you're not worried about the, the potential issue of having your brain scrambled by radio waves or whatever. Yeah, it's not a bad spot. It's a little exposed, but sometimes it's just nice to be on grass instead of mud. But we're continuing on to the north. So down from the power lines, you follow this, I guess you could call it a bit of an access road. But then you find this. That is a nice little stealth camp spot. Very nice, very level. And looks like there's a bit of a trail going off the other end of it as well, but yeah, that's nice, and it's out of the wind. I'm gonna stop here and actually have some lunch for a little bit. I'll get back with you soon. We've been following this trail. It came up a ridge line, strewn with rocks, and this is before we begin the steeper last ascent of the day. But that's a great level spot down there, and I think someone may have put a little fire ring just past those trees right there. Down there would be more protected from the wind than where I'm standing now, but we're continuing on this way. But yeah, that's not a bad spot. I'd choose that if I was coming in late and I knew I wasn't going to make Erwin. Yeah, I'd choose that. Like I said, man, it's nice to be on grass as opposed to moist dirt or mud all the time. We've just come off the board and kind of zigzag down here a little bit. There is a fire pit here. I mean, it's not terribly level, but you could do hammocks super easy. But it's a decent fire pit. There was like 5 fire pits up on that bald. And I don't think I'd ever light a fire up there, to be honest. It's grass, and if it's dry grass, and it's always windy. It's always super windy. I'd be really worried about starting a grass fire and then having it sweep down into the tree line. But this is a lot more secluded here, and you're just up from an access road going up to the top of the bald, and they had like a little turnaround hairpin there. I guess people like to come up here and look at sunsets on these things, but it's always like gale force winds up there. We just come out of the woods and we're coming down this, I guess it's a bald of sorts. And it's not a bad spot. I mean, I'd be watching some of these branches. I think I'd probably put my tent more over there. But I got a nice fire ring. It's a little more protected from the wind. And again, you just got some grass to put your stuff on. It just makes everything softer. I'm pretty sure that we're heading up there, and that should be the last big ascent of the day. So I'll get back to you in a little bit. So this is this is a track coming up the last big ascent of the day, getting to Cherry Cabin, and it's switchbacked. It's at a decent gradient. It's just a lot of it. There's a lot of it. And it's not the most stimulating scenery, but at least we're out of the wind now for a large portion of this. Man, I was in some strong winds. We're up to 32. It got down to 26 when you were exposed. Yeah, very strong winds coming up here. Oh. Well, we'll be coming up through a patch of evergreens here, which I always like. But, you know, that's just fun. Someone's put Christmas decorations up here. Let's go have a closer look. I'm a Christmas nut, so this is fun for me. Decorated in memory of Mark Andrew Norrell, 1994 to 2016. He was young. That's neat. I like that. Well, that's Max Andrew. Here's to you, Max. And we will continue on. Oh, man, this is what the trail's been like for like the last half a mile. At least. It's bouldery as hell. Like I said, it was cold up here with the winds. Just 50 meters back. For quite a while before that, the soil was still frozen. It's just melted a little bit up here because I guess we're getting a little bit more sun. But yeah, it's an interesting track. If it wasn't for these blazes, you'd have really nowhere. You'd have no idea where to go. I mean, this track here is a little more worn, but I mean, further back there, everything looks the same. It's all just everything's just covered in pine needles. I can see a breath in there. We still have ice, or snow, I guess, from last night. Because this is quite a different climate up here. Yeah, it's all over. Yeah, there's not a huge break in the winds. I mean, this isn't too bad right here, but the majority of this walk up this mountain, man, you're exposed. It's a very, very predominant wind sweeping up, but this is pretty. I like this. Little baby trees everywhere. Yeah, so I put my jacket back, my hoodie back on. I was like, man, I can see my breath in there. I was coming down, it was like getting colder and colder. I looked at my thermometer, and it was 21 degrees. I'm like, well, that would explain it. Yeah, it's cold up here. It's a cold wind, and yeah, the wind's not mucking around. So yeah, hoodie back on, and we'll keep moving, stay warm. You come from that direction, I'd say we're about, I don't know, 15-20 minutes, like starting the descent down from the last peak of the day. And yeah, that's a good 5. You can see how they built it up to protect it from these winds. But no, there's quite a bit of area in here to put hammocks, tents. I would say easily 8 to 10 tents. Yeah, that's not a bad spot. But better on a less windy day, and better when it's not 22 degrees. Yeah, coming down from the peak, it's very rocky. And again, a ton of tree roots, and now it's leveled out. That's a much more pleasant surface to be walking on. The descent isn't going to be anywhere near as steep as going up, but it's a longer process, like longer distance. Now we get out to the bottom, we do a couple of small little ups and downs, and then we should get to the shelter. So I'll get back with you soon. So we've come down, it's a long descent. It's switchbacked. It's not a bad gradient. It just takes a while to get down. And you get down to this gap. We continue on there. I think we're about 2 miles or so from the shelter. But there is a little stealthy thing here. And there's room for 4 to 5 tents around here. Yeah, it's not bad. Not bad. But yeah, we got to continue on. I swear to God, if a tree falls in the forest, it has to fall over the Appalachian Trail. The amount of times this happens in one day. I mean, this is like the 5th. And what blows my mind is that there'll be trees on the downslope and they'll fall upslope just to cover the trail. Just to cover the trail. I gotta figure out how to maneuver through this. Shit. This is the guaranteed, or the dependable water source before the shelter, because the shelter's on an undependable water source. Someone's put a little piece of bark there, which is awesome. But this is since the water footage of this morning, and it is now 4:45. This is the only water source I've come across that you can actually use. I got to collect some water and get to camp. Well, here we are at Cherry. I think it's Cherry Cabin Shelter. It's another cinder block design. At least the wind's going into the back of it. I don't know if I'll use this tonight. I might get into my tent. It feels like it's going to be a cold night, and it's definitely warmer being in your tent. So, but yeah, that's it. I got a broom, shovel, rake. Someone left their charging cable. Someone's left a balaclava. Oh, it's Cherry Gap. My bad. Cherry Gap Shelter. Why would you take the book? Let's see here. Oh, there's no real sign of mouse poop. I don't know, I'll give it some thought. I think it's going to be a colder night. I may just put up my tent. But yeah, Cherry Gap Shelter. It's not a lot to speak of, but... And I guess over here is the tent sites. trees look a little dodgy, to be honest. Yeah, nothing wakes you up faster than having a branch land either on your tent or very near it. Some of these aren't too bad. I gotta get my dinner on. It's man, it's getting below freezing again. Yeah, 28. So yeah, I'll get my dinner on. I'll get back to you in a little bit.